All right, so how do you do keyword research without actually using an SEO tool? Well, we have a lot of different options at our disposal, but the most important way to do it is actually looking at Google themselves for answers, looking at the search results for any given term you want to rank for. So, for example, we're going to talk about running shoes. So, using that same example, throwing that in Google, we can learn so much about what Google wants us to write about to rank in general. If we just look at this page, let's just start at the top here. Literally, we talk about women's, men's, kids, boys, in different colors. So we know that we have to then, of course, talk about different types of running shoes for different audiences. For athletics, cheap running shoes, different types of materials used. Are they breathable? Is there cushioning? Are they? What's the difference between sneakers and running shoes? Just even in the very top part, these are all different potential content topics we could easily write about. That's going to help us rank for this core topic here, running shoes. Google gives us the formula that we need to rank for this page just by looking at how this page is structured. So let's keep going down. For example, we can even see here that Runner's World, they're ranking they're one of the very first organic rankings. So this is of course all ads based here. And then we go to actual styles picked for you. I love On shoes, so that's a no-brainer. But then down here, these right here, these are actual organic ones. So the 14 best running shoes of 2024. We can literally look at this article because Google ranks it right now as basically almost number one. We can look at it and see what they're talking about. They're basically comparing them, how they're testing them, why you can trust them, and they're breaking it down. Trainers, race shoes, stability, and trail running, and what to consider. These all could be separate blog topics, or even comparing and contrasting trainers to race shoes, stability shoes to daily trainers. There's so many different angles here which we can just learn just by looking at what Google's currently ranking. Going further, there's even more here. If we look at right here, the buying guide, which Google started adding, all of these different considerations, these could be separate pages on your content plan. They could be parts of one singular page or all of it. We could talk about the different support, how you know if it fits for you, what different types of running shoes are there on the market. It's literally giving you the topics to put in your content plan right here. Uncovering popular brands and why they have a cult following, for example, like the On shoes that I love. So it's so crazy, but Google gives us all this information. Discussions and forums. We can literally go look at what people are actually talking about. And if we answer those questions on our website, it will perform very, very, very well. So, and then finally, my favorite section, people also ask. This are the legitimate questions, the literal questions that people are putting in Google to help them understand what they want to buy and how to basically buy the product in order to ultimately buy their running shoes. So if for the term, and this is on almost every search result, that this people also ask section. But for the term running shoes, we can look at all these major questions people are basically having to get answers to before they ultimately make a purchase. Google is trying to predict what your next question is going to be. And they do that by looking at all their data. And then they show you that to hope to help you answer that. And by us putting these exact questions on your page, this is what's going to help you rank so fast. It's incredible. We do this across the board. So you're basically building the content plan with the data and also building the content itself with the data we find on the search results. We'll go into a lot more of that in the next couple lessons, but I just want to make that very, very clear. We can also learn so much from the other sections of Google. For example, shopping. We can look at shopping and it breaks it out by trail running shoes. They break it out by stability running shoes, by road running shoes, and then basically all of them. But it's important to note even the order they're showing this in. If people are looking up running shoes, 9 times out of 10, they're probably looking up trail running shoes because Google is showing us this first. And of course, we see all these buttons here on the top as well. Rubber outsole, recycled materials, the different weights of running shoes and why that should be a factor. All of these can help you basically create your content plan. Let's go to images as well. Check it out. Images also has their own entities, or what Google calls these. These are technically entities that are related to running shoes. So obviously the brands, also the type of running shoes. Again, high top versus low top. Why that's important for stability on your long runs. All of these are different content topics we could write about. Video. Google also owns YouTube. So it's important to note that if they're ranking a YouTube page, then there's also a lot of good information there we can take. So we can look at, of course, why these are best running shoes. And you can basically start going into all these different questions that we found on the earlier page here, and then also putting them into Google and then watching what videos are created. There's so many different angles that we can really play here to build better content. But to do that, we have to start by building a better content plan. That's exactly what Google wants us to have. They want us to help educate their buyers and have all that information found in one easy to read spot on the page. And when you build your content plan like this and you ultimately build your content itself based on the data, That's what Google wants. And why? Because Google's a business too, and their customers are their users, their searchers looking for answers. And by us providing the best possible answer and all of the answers that they may have to them on one single page or a collection of pages, you will crush it. You will rank immediately. Why? Because we're ultimately solving for the user's problems. We're not writing this for Google. We're writing this for the user experience to help ultimately catalog all these different questions and queries and ideas in people's minds that they need to understand in order to buy running shoes. We're doing that all in a couple pages. And by doing that, it's going to help us rank so fast. So now let me show you how to do this with Ahrefs, an SEO tool, and how this can really supercharge it, because you can do this at scale and build your content plans very quickly. Cool. Talk soon.